Welcome to the series where I test out money-making methods from the OSRS Wiki. Feel free to leave suggestions on which moneymaker you'd like to see next. And also, if you didn't already know, I have a nice playlist that I've created that has all of the previous moneymakers that I've already tried, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's video, I thought we'd go ahead and check out fishing raw Karambwan. Now, this is one of those methods that isn't on the wiki, but it definitely should be. It can be some pretty decent money, and it is fairly low effort. Actually, I'd say it's pretty AFK aside from having to bank the actual Karambwan. But the good part about this is that the fishing spots never move, so all you gotta do is click on the spot, wait for the inventory to fill up, and then you can go ahead and bank. Now, as for the requirements for this method, you will need 65 fishing along with the completion of the Tai Wo Wanai Trio quest. It'll also be very important to have fairy rings unlocked, so make sure you have the proper quests done for that. I believe it's Fairy Tale 1 and Fairy Tale 2, Cure a Queen. Now, you don't have to do that second quest, you don't have to complete it. I don't even think you need the requirements for it. You just need to start it to actually get access to these rings, so make sure you have it done. Now, I thought that this method would be pretty interesting considering that I haven't really done it for a long period of time. I think the only time that I've actually caught a raw Karambwan was for the diary, and that diary is the medium Karamja diary. You actually get a hard Karamja diary task completed if you cook the Karambwan as well. Now, as for the gear setup, it's very simple. I'm just bringing my angler's outfit for that extra fishing XP. I believe with the full outfit we do get a 2.5% boost to XP. I also have the Rada's Blessing 4 because it gives us a chance of catching 2 Karambwan instead of 1. As for the inventory, I have the Karambwan vessel, which is what we use to catch the Karambwans, and I have the Karambwanji, if that's how you say it, Karambwanji. It's an interesting word. Now, one thing that you can take advantage of is the bank fillers. This is just to make the banking a little bit easier if you are not going to be using a deposit box. So as you can see here, I got rid of the placeholder for the bait and the vessel. And then I also made sure that I already had a raw Karambwan placeholder there so that whenever I deposit my inventory, only the raw Karambwan that we catch go into the bank. Now again, this isn't needed if you're using the deposit box as shown here, because you can just click on the Karambwan and then on the deposit box and there will be an option to deposit all of it. Now, as for where you get the bait to catch the raw Karambwan, all you need to do is head over to a fairy ring, configure it, and type in the code CKR, and that'll take you directly to the fishing spot. Now, if you don't have the Elite Lumbridge diary done, you will need either the Drawman or Lunar Staff to use these fairy rings, but since we have it, we don't need it. We can just travel here, and as you can see, there is currently 3 spots where you can fish for this bait, and you will need a small fishing net to catch these Karambwanji. And don't worry about how long it takes to catch these. It's really fast. It's not like you're catching one at a time. And of course, they all stack into one slot, so that's cool too. Now, as for getting to the Karambwan spot, we input the code DKP, and as you can see, we are right here. There are 2 spots here where we can fish for the Karambwan, and these spots never change. So again, this is a very AFK moneymaker. Another cool thing about this stackable bait that we have here in the inventory is that you can actually use this to feed your kitten. I'd say this is the best food to feed the kitten since it really doesn't cost anything. And you catch these fish really quickly, and of course it stacks in your inventory, so you don't have to worry about filling it up with like trout, salmon, or any other fish that you might want to feed your cat. But yeah, as for the money making method, it's very straightforward. All you do is just click on the spot, wait for your inventory to fill up, and then you go ahead and bank it and then come straight back. Now, the method that I'm using is I'm using my POH to use the fairy ring, of course, and I'm also using the Crafting Guild deposit box as my bank. Now, there's actually a faster method that you can do, but it will cost a little bit of money, and that is to use the butler in your POH to bank your Karambwan. You can actually give it to him, and he will go to the bank and bank it for you. It's a little bit faster, but I wasn't sure if it was really worth spending the extra money on, especially considering that the method that I chose to use was already pretty fast enough, and I didn't really want anything to eat into the profits, but who knows, it might be a better way to go about fishing. Now, if you're an Iron Man, it definitely probably is the best way to do it since you really don't care about money. It's more along the lines of getting the supplies you need. So sure, doing it the fastest way is probably the best way for an Iron Man. Now, if you don't have the crafting cape to use the bank here, you can always use the Karamja gloves 3 or 4 to go to the gem mine and bank there. That's also a very close spot, which is pretty nice. And if you don't have that, then you can just use the fairy ring itself to bank. You can take it straight back to Xanaris, or Xanaris, however you say that. And if you run, I believe it's northwest, there is a bank up here. Well, there's a bunch of bank chests that you can click on, or you can click on the NPCs that are flying around to bank as well. As you can see, there are many different ways to bank during this moneymaker, so pick the one that works for you. Now, unfortunately, the price of the raw Karambwan are fairly low. I believe they used to be like around 700 GP at one point, and they've gone down significantly. And I've heard that there's a lot of bots here, and I can understand why. Like I said, the fishing spot doesn't move, so I can see how this is a very easily botted area. And that pretty much led to the decline of the price of the Karambwan. But who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and the price will jump up again. But even with these low prices, it's still an AFK way to earn some fishing experience and some money on the side. And it was actually perfect for me since I've been having a lot of disconnections lately. There's been a lot of lag spikes these past couple weeks. And yeah, a moneymaker like this where you don't really need to do anything is perfect for whenever your connection isn't really cooperating with you. So if you choose to do this moneymaker and you have the proper cooking level as well, I'd say around 90 plus, you can also cook these raw Karambwan and make a little bit extra money. I actually have a video that I've already done where I did 1 hour of cooking the Karambwan. Now I wasn't doing it, the most efficient way where you spam click it, but I let them auto cook and see how much we could make from 1 hour of that. And I do believe it was less than if you were to just fish the Karambwan yourself. But of course, if you feel like putting in the extra effort and you really want to be efficient with it, then you can definitely make more money than you would here. But just keep in mind that you will need to put a lot more effort and you won't really be able to just AFK and chill. Now recently we did hit 10,000 subscribers, which is actually insane. You guys are amazing and the support is amazing, and I honestly didn't think we'd ever hit 10,000 subscribers. When I first made this channel, I never thought we'd actually get to this point. I mean, it was all about making informative videos to help people out in this game, because this game can be a little daunting at times, but yeah, there was just something satisfying about making an informative video and having people say that, it helped them out. So to be here now, 10,000 subscribers later, that's pretty crazy, and I just want to say thanks. And speaking of informative videos, my last video that I made was about the quest, a porcine of interest, and it didn't really do too well. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. I don't know if people just didn't feel like watching that because it was like a quest video, or maybe it just didn't get out to you guys. But if you haven't watched it and you want to, feel free to check it out. I'll leave a link somewhere. Just keep in mind that it is not a quest guide, it is an adventure. And with that being said, we can now check how much we made from this 1 hour. As you can see, we did catch 826 raw Karambwan, valued at just over 300,000 GP. And as you can see in the top left, it says that we only caught 768, but because of that Rod is Blessing 4, we did manage to catch a little bit extra, which is really nice. And as you saw there, we did manage to make a total of 311,402 GP from this 1 hour of fishing Karambwan. So yeah, definitely not bad for a pretty AFK moneymaker. Again, all you gotta worry about is actually banking the fish, and you can just pretty much chill at this one spot that never moves. And not only did we make a nice bit of money, but we also got some fishing experience, almost 40,000 fishing experience from this 1 hour. So yeah, that's also pretty good. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode. And once again, thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers.